Hi, welcome to Toh Atin Gallery in Durango, Colorado. My name is Jackson Clark and I'm the owner of the gallery. It's been in the family since 1957. My grandfather, on my mother's side, actually was an Indian trader in the early 1900s, and later my father got involved in the Indian business in 1957. We've been in this gallery since 1983 and we're the largest Native American gallery in the state of Colorado. We also carry a nice collection of Southwestern style paintings and bronzes and some wonderful things that you'll enjoy finding at the gallery. We hope you'll come and visit us. If not in person, come to our website at tohatin.com. One of the art forms that we're most proud to carry in the gallery is Pueblo Pottery. The Pueblo Indians are descendants of the Anasazi who lived at Mesa Verde and Chaco Canyon. In the 1400s, these people abandoned their traditional home sites and they moved to the south, ending up along the Rio Grande Valley between Taos and Albuquerque, New Mexico. There are many different Pueblo styles, and each Pueblo developed their own, but it's based on the same basic premise that the Anasazi built their pottery with years and years ago. These look like beautiful, perfectly round, symmetrical vessels, and you would think they were formed on a wheel, but they weren't. The way that they were made was so much as you used to play with Play-Doh when you were a kid, and you'd roll it out, or modeling clay into long snake-like pieces of clay. What these people do is the same thing. They dig the clay out of the ground, they clean it, make sure that there's no impurities in it, and then they moisten it and they'll roll it out into those long snake-like pieces of clay and then coil it. And as they coil it, they'll build these pots up, and then those pots are shaped just by hand so that they're perfectly round, and then using a stone that's been passed down for generations generally, the stone is wetted and the pot is rubbed until it develops a beautiful shiny finish. Now these pieces are then painted. The design that you see on the outside is done with a clay slip that's painted onto that dried piece of pottery, and then it's fired under a pile of either sheep manure or pinon, but it's not fired to a real high tinsel, so it's not going to hold water for a long time. In the old days, the Anasazi would make pottery, and it really didn't matter if it was going to hold water or not. They only used it for a brief period of time until it broke, and then they made another one for cooking or eating or storing materials. But these pieces are actually crafted as art pieces. Listen to this. That's the tinsel you get, the sound you get from a pot where she dug that out of the ground, coiled it all the way up, polished it and fired it under a pile of sheep manure, and still she got that beautiful sound to it. So there's a lot of different kinds of Pueblo pottery, and each one of the villages has their own style. And at Toh Atin, we're happy to spend our time showing you the pieces by some of the more famous artists, Margaret Tafoya, Maria Martinez, the Lewis family, and hundreds more. And we carry a wonderful selection. We hope that you'll come by and take a look. In addition to the traditional pottery that the Pueblo Indians make, they do some fun things too. One of those is the Storyteller doll. Back in the 1940s, a woman named Helen Cordero came up with this idea at Cochiti Pueblo, and she had made small figurines of bears and horses and other animals before, primarily aimed at selling to the tourist market, people who rode the train across and stayed at Fred Harvey's hotels. And she came up with the idea of using the clay in the traditional way, using it, building it by hand, painting it, and making these small dolls that she called Storyteller dolls. And basically what they were women or men with small figures of babies on them, where the storyteller was telling the story. It's kind of like reading your bedtime story to your kids at night. So in different tribes began to pick that up as well. This is actually a Navajo piece by Mary Martin. And then you do some other fun things. Here you've got the storyteller with his traditional braids, and he's telling the two kids who are goofing around a little bit, and on top of his head is a young baby bear listening to the tale. Storyteller dolls illustrate the creativity and the sense of humor of the Pueblo Indian potters.